All right, Louisiana beer reviews, Fuller's Vintage Ale 2012 follow-up. Now, the last review, and it was a review really, I shouldn't put that in quotes, from about 10 minutes ago, actually about 8 minutes ago. Okay, you do Fuller's 2011, and then an hour later you do 2012. You've only eaten one bagel with peanut butter on it and 3 cups of coffee. It's expected that things will go a bit, let's say, awry. It's raining outside, can't go to Mardi Gras, so, but anyway, I went on and on and on, although all the points I made were valid, I think. I said, let me do a follow-up because people will notice that things were awry due to chemical influence, whatever, whatever you want to say. When you're doing a hobby, sometimes you got to go all the way with it because, like they say, go hard to the go hard to the goal or don't go at all. And that's something I can appreciate. But anyway, this Fuller's, and I think they're one of the best companies in the world. They make profoundly good beers. I've had the Fuller's London Pride, the ESB, the Porter, and now the Vintage Series. And I bought the 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013 at Dorgnac's, $7.99 per bottle. But 8.5% alcohol, which is staggeringly strong, I might add. But what have I found out with 3 samplings? Well, it's an orange color. It's murky, semi-murky. You do see some bubble streams, thick cream-colored head. It has a barley wine type presentation. It's sort of like alcohol infusion right into the brain. I mean, this is no joke. It's not a game. You'll say, well, beer, 8.5%. I drank some wine last week that was 17%. But you do have to understand, beer has a different alcohol delivery. So you might drink beer that's 5%, and you'll find that you'll be much more staggered than if you drink some wine that's 17%. I remember last year I went to the Woodlands, Texas, and my friend and his wife were there, and we went to their house, and we got Keystone Ice, believe it or not, 5.6, 24-ounce can, bought it at Mercado de Familia in Beaumont, Texas. And I said, well, hey, let's, I told his wife, he didn't want to drink. I said, let's split the can, 12 ounces each. So we split it, we drank it, and we were on an empty stomach, and it was incredible. She said, oh, this is something else. This is like really delicious, and what's going on? And I said, I know, I told you, it's just like, well, I don't want to say. But anyway, it was noticeable. She noticed it, and she was very appreciative of the overall presentation of Keystone Ice, introduced in 1994. But anyway, the point I was trying to make about this was it's interesting, it's unique, it's profoundly good. You want to drink a great beer? Go get Fuller's Vintage Ale 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Another comment I made on the original Awry video was that with all the other things said, I didn't find that it was that. Let me restate it. I didn't find it was appreciably different than the 10 or 11, even though they were older. It might have been marginally different, but not appreciably different. I found, and this sounds bizarre, that the 2012 edition, which is only 2 years old, was smoother, sweeter, and had less turned fruit character, which kind of goes against the grain of what it's supposed to be. But it's certainly delicious. Now, what I said in the other videos was that Here's a bunch of high gravity lagers lined up. St. Ides, Hurricane High Gravity 800, Steel Reserve 211, 8% alcohol, Hurricane 8.1. Certainly the very manly Schlitz Bull Ice ice malt liquor at 8.2. I bought this in Tallahassee, Florida. The Colt 45 High Gravity 8.5. I bought this in St. Petersburg, Florida. Devastatingly strong. But the point I brought, the reason I mentioned these lagers, and the Schlitz Gold Bull 8.5, I was saying, well, the Fuller's is an ale, English ale from the United Kingdom. These lagers are lagers, obviously malt liquors, high gravity malt liquors, extra strong beer from the United States. These are considered cheap. Some people will say ghetto beer, whatever, they look down on them. Whereas the Fuller's is, celebrated around the world. And I'll be the first to line up and say it's fantastic, wonderful. And I could list probably 50 more adjectives about it. It's a great beer. If you ever see it, buy it, try it, you'll love it. All of that. You'll pay $7.99 a bottle or more, but the point I was trying to make was I've drank many of these since February '96. Okay, the high gravity malt liquors, lagers, whatever you want to call them. You'll say, yeah, well, Louisiana Beer Reviews, you have that special little place in your heart for the high gravity malt liquors. True, true, true. I wouldn't argue that point. But that being said, and I've been thinking about this for 48 hours, and I said to myself, can you really say honestly, and if you're not going to be honest, what's the point of doing the beer reviews? And I've always been honest, opinions of others notwithstanding. Can you honestly say that beer is more enjoyable than these? I can't say that. I just cannot say that. As wonderful as the Fuller's is, and it's wonderful, it's profoundly good. Like I said, I'm repeating myself. But I'm in Tallahassee, I'm at the hotel, I'm watching the baseball game, and I'm drinking the Gold Bull in the little clear hotel cup, plastic cup, and I'm thinking, what care they've taken to brew this beer. It's so finely tuned. I remember thinking that this beer is so finely tuned. I've driven over 8 hours. I'm here in Tallahassee, Florida. I've got a big trip ahead. And when you're in the context, that context, you're thinking this beer really does what it's designed to do. And that's the point of this. Does the Fuller's do what it's designed to do? Certainly. Does the Schlitz Gold Bull do what it's designed to do? Magnificently. So the other video became sort of a stream of consciousness type thing that you'll sort of develop after drinking one Fuller's 2011 and a 2012, one after the other, and that's expected. And I thought, well, let me do a follow-up. But the point is, can you get a great value for $7.99 a bottle with the Fuller's Vintage Ale? Absolutely. It would be one of the best things you've ever bought in your life for $7.99. Comma. However, comma, can one get a good value with this array here? Yes, and most certainly yes. And I would say an equally good value. And you're going to pay a lot less per ounce. Now, Are there some bad, and I mean atrociously bad malt liquors that a person can buy for a low price that have high alcohol? Yes. I was in Racine, Wisconsin, and I bought this horror, this insult to everything related to malt beverages. Yes, don't buy this. Avoid it. If you see it, run fast. If you don't have this at 32.5 degrees, don't drink it. If you drink it at near freezing, you're going to hate it, but at least you might be able to stomach it. I had to pour 2 cans out. So anyway, the point is, all of this is exciting to drink. It's all recommended. It's all really comes down to the main point is this: what are you willing to pay, and how do you evaluate the cost comparison? Evaluate it against the I'll use the term, the presentation of the product. And that's left up to the consumer. So, Laissez Le Bon Temps Roulé, this is a profoundly good beer. I highly recommend it. If you ever see it, buy it, try it. You just might like it. But on the other hand, to be fair, I would say the same thing for Old English 800 High Gravity. And y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana, but not this week because it's too cold and it's too damp.